See, I never know if we're recording or not.
I mean, it says we're live.
Yeah,
It says we're live. Yep.
This is a little bit of a
We
hang.
did it.
Oh, now it's doing it. All right, great. Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We are going to be playing Runners tonight. It's our, 16th session, I think. I'm going to kick it over to Jesse, let him give us a recap, and we'll jump into it.
Yeah. All right. So last time, it was kind of an organizational session, right? Getting everything together, kind of planning things out, making sure everyone's on the same page. So we temporarily split the party so that they could kind of deal with a few different things, with Huxley going and talking to Briston to kind of give the recap of the last run and make sure that everything's all set, especially with kind of the cryptic text messages that he had sent Smokey. Zuchy taking Marla to the Brock hideout so that she would be safe because people are looking for her right now. And Smokey going to the bar to get the package that they had accidentally left there for Marla because, the police broke in. So they all managed to kind of do their thing. Smokey sweet talked the guards, got in, apparently ended up owning a bar by accident. And they kind of set everything up. Huxley, though somewhat quickly, they, like a house of cards, they had built it up and then everything slowly started to fall apart. Or rather quickly fall apart, actually, because Huxley went home, made dinner for Miss Joanna, was going to kind of, get everything back to normal. And then they ended up getting into a massive argument about him being in trouble and danger and being a runner and all this kind of stuff. And he had that teenage angst built up and just exploded and went to his room. Meanwhile, Zuchy was kind of having that issue of, his brother's there and he wants to really help him out. And do they trust Marla? And what's the best path for him? Does he stay here? Does he go to Ingram? Does he go somewhere else? Like, the options kind of opened up to what's the safest and best route for him. Meanwhile, Smokey fucking blew up a bar. Ended up covering the whole bar in blast paste and and dumping out alcohol and just prepping it to make the biggest mushroom cloud he possibly could. So as he does that, he goes back, gets Marla and Zuchy and meets up with them, gets Marla her medicine. She takes it. She's no longer, she has at least another, couple months until she's a safety threat at that point. And Smokey grabs Marla and starts getting her out. And he's like, all right, cool. There's the explosion. They're going to be paying attention to that. You get out of here. And she goes, how? Where do I go? I don't know what to do. And he goes, damn it. And that's where we ended. So right now we find ourselves kind of in Fuego with Huxley up in his room throwing a tantrum, Zuchy with Brock back at the shed, and Smokey with Marla kind of in a panic because she's not sure where to go or how to get out of the knoll. And kind of having to try to come up with that on the fly. So what does everyone want to do? We'll say Huxley and Zuchy, you have clearly heard this explosion, right? Like, Ingram is big, but not huge, right? We're not talking like a town or a city. We're not talking like 2 or 3 or 4 square miles, where we're talking about like just bigger than the factory that it was built around. So you can walk from one side to the other in 10 minutes, right? So when a major explosion goes off in the middle of this big steel box, everyone's gonna hear it, right? So Huxley, when it goes off, your windows are rattling, the whole house kind of shakes. Zuchy, same thing. You're inside the shed. The whole shed just vibrates with the blast of this explosion. Smokey, you saw it go off. You saw your big flaming plume.
He had his camera out. And he's taking video.
You save that for later,
right? And yeah, you're kind of in the midst of this now. Where Smokey, you have Marla, and your plan was for her to escape, but she doesn't really know how.
I think so. When the explosion happens, Huxley jumps up off the bed, goes to the window, looks to see, I don't know if the bar would be on that side. But if he doesn't see it directly, he hauls ass downstairs and just, runs out the front door. I don't even think he says anything to go see if he can help. Obviously people are in need and something happened.
Yeah, we'll say that it's on, so you're kind of on the back side of the house, because you could look out your window and you saw the garage, you saw the shed of your neighbor. So your room is going to kind of be out towards the back. But if you go out into the hallway and look down through the window that's at the end of the hallway, you now see that flickering glow of fire down in towards the middle of town.
Yeah, I mean, just maybe
plumes of black smoke rising up.
Yeah, I mean, he might just say, I've got to go. Something happened. You should probably go to the hospital, and then run. Like, doesn't wait for a reply, just runs out the door.
Right. Yep. And yeah, she, Miss Joanna will yell after you. And she says, I will see you at the hospital. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid.
That's
and then
she doesn't hear it.
And you're like, yeah, you're kind of, she's yelling, like she's like running out the front door, like standing at the door, yelling at you as you run out into the street.
Maybe he waves a hand at her, like as he's running,
like over your back. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Smokey, what you got?
I think we ended like when we were standing there and she said, what now? Where am I going? And I think we talked about the couple options that were there. And I think Marla said that she didn't know if she'd necessarily be welcome if she went back to the main place. And then there was under the bridge. So I guess I'm thinking too far ahead. We just have to get her out. So
yeah, I was gonna say I think your first goal should probably be like short-term, immediate goal is like get out of Ingram.
Okay.
So with that, you have a couple of, I mean, your main option is going to be through the organization office, right? Like where you, as a runner, you launch. I don't know if Smokey would know about alternate routes out.
I would think Smokey would know some rat runs to get in and out. That just, to me, that makes a bit of sense. Just that, that he might know that. But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think I did send a message to Briston about, and I think we were going to head towards the office to see if we could sneak out.
Oh, yes. You did shoot him a text.
Yeah. So I think make it official, and we'll head to there, walk slowly, walk normally, or walk slowly and normally as you can when there's been a big explosion. But I think I was going to try to sneak her out. I think I was going to try to sneak her out through the official way.
Sounds good. All right, yeah. And Zuchy, what would you want to do? So all three of you are kind of separated right now. You at least know Smokey and Marla just left like a few minutes ago. You know Huxley's home, and then you're with Brock in the shed.
Yeah, so I think the first thing that would happen was Zuchy would be reactive, and he'd probably cover, like put his body over Brock just because he's concerned about it, like if the shed were to collapse or something like that.
Right, yeah.
So he'd probably lay on him, and he'd just kind of like look around for a second, and then he would be like, sorry, buddy, I think this means I gotta go. And he says to Brock, he's like, you hang tight. I will see you soon. And he kisses him on the forehead, and then he will make his way out of the shed, lock it up, and then he'll bolt out of there.
Right on. All right. Yeah. And actually, as you you say your, temporary goodbyes to Brock, lock the shed, you start running out, and you can actually see Huxley probably about 15, 20 yards up from you.
Okay.
So he's like just left his house 10, 15 seconds ago.
The camera pans to Miss Joanna. She sees Zuchy and just scowls before going back in and closing
right? It's a mixed emotion thing, because she scowls because she's like, that motherfucker. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, but at least he's got someone there with him.
Yeah.
I know he's involved in this somehow.
Yeah, I wasn't over there, though, so she can't blame me for that.
Right? Yeah, so you actually, as you run, you hear Miss Joanna yelling at Huxley. And then she sees you run by, and she actually yells out to you, Zuchy. And she doesn't have to yell quite as loud because you're running like right up the side of the house. And as you run by, she just yells at you, watch him. And then she runs back in the house to get her stuff.
Yeah. Basically, in the back of his mind, he's like doy, and then he'll take off.
And I'm assuming Zuchy's a little bit faster than Huxley.
Yeah, I would probably dust him pretty quickly. But he wouldn't do that.
I mean, what do we got?
He'd probably run beside him instead.
Aw.
Hey, guy, where are you going?
Yeah, right.
Exactly where you're going.
Where are the two of you going?
To wherever Huxley's going to wherever the fire is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I assume
that's what Zuchy would do too.
Yeah, there's people hurt. Like, we have no idea what's happening. So.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. So you guys run only for a couple of minutes, if that. And then you start getting to that kind of center businessy area, like the trade center of the town. And it's very clear what building has exploded and is on fire right now.
Oh man, Mr. Smokey's gonna be so mad.
And Zuchy just kind of pats Huxley on the shoulder, and he's gonna be like, Hux, obviously that was done for a reason.
But why would somebody blow up the bar? Did they? You think they think Miss Marla was in there? We should go look to make sure nobody's. Oh man! Then he like starts to take a couple of tentative steps forward, but I'm assuming like it's fully engulfed, like doors in flames. It's kind of. What if somebody's in there? And then he starts like just like looking around, like just trying to figure like, oh, we'll throw some water or like, shit, what do we do?
Yeah, Zuchy will kind of grab him and pull him back, and he'd be like, Hux, if somebody's in there, they're not gonna make it. They're done.
What do we do?
Well, I say we look around and see what we can find, because I have a feeling that our old friend Smokey did a little something, and there was a reason for it.
Okay. I mean, he wanted to be the bartender. I don't know why. Okay. Well, fire. He just starts yelling.
Yeah. I would say like
there's like the town security that basically doubles as like all of the things. There's like already people around you and behind you that are like, no shit, kid. And like, now get out of the way. And they're like, they've got like the canisters out and everything, trying to smother the flames. And
so just real quick. So Smokey was trying to make this like all sound and no fury, right? He wanted to like distract people and grab their attention. So I want to make sure that he didn't set up like shrapnel flying around or anything. So
yeah, like you said, I mean, you said when you were trying to set it that you weren't looking for an explosion, you were looking for flame. And that's it. Yeah.
Just because when John was pointing out about going to check and Miss Joanne, I'm like, ooh, I hope I didn't hurt anybody. That wasn't Smokey's plan. So.
Right, go ahead, Kurt, before somebody cuts you off again.
Oh no, that's okay. So I think Zuchy kind of takes a page out of Huxley's book, and I think we like do the whole thing where we kind of like, fire, what's going on, that kind of thing, and like we'll like actively look like we're trying to help, but we're secretly trying to see if we can find Smokey.
I mean, you might be. Huxley's helping now. If we start that, like he's all in on helping stuff. Like he's pulling a hose or, whatever, right? Because again, we have no idea. Well, at least Huxley doesn't, right? No potential clue that like you're saying that maybe Smokey did it, but I don't like. It doesn't fully click. Like, why would he blow up the bar? Like, we own the bar now. Why would he blow it up? That's dumb. Like, somebody must have did something because they're clearly trying to find Marlon.
For the
right?
insurance, obviously.
Yeah. Also wouldn't occur to him.
Yeah. So I'd probably let Hux then just kind of do his thing. And I think Zuchy would just, pretend like he's, again, just trying to do something and, just kind of look around and be like, oh, I hope nobody's hurt. And then he's like still kind of looking to see if he could find Smokey.
Right on.
But also keeping an eye on Huxley just in case he gets too close or, does something he shouldn't be doing.
Sounds good. So yeah, you guys are gonna kind of do your best to help by while also put like the front on of like, oh my god, this is such a. I mean, Huxley doesn't, because for him it is a surprise, right? And so she's like, oh fuck, Smokey did this, seriously. Right on. All right. So yeah, while you guys are trying to kind of help with the fire and everything, Smokey.
Marla and I will be walking towards the main point, trying to keep an eye out to see if Smokey's plan worked with it. Everybody, went to go check out what happened. And
okay. Yeah, I mean, you can even see like the town, like Ingram is in not chaos right now, but you've created a focal point of focus and not entertainment, but curiosity, right? So like everybody who, if there's anybody in the streets, like they are migrating towards this, either to see what happened, to see if they can help, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Either that or they're running for safety because something's going down. So anybody is either focused on the fire or themselves. You have created a great distraction that nobody is paying attention to you or Marla right now.
Okay. So we'll head over towards the like I said, the main ingress and egress point. And we'll be talking while we're going. Okay, so where do you think you're going to head? What's your best options? If we can get in there and no one notices, we can get you geared up for what you need to get wherever you're going.
Yeah, so I mean she basically says, so I think honestly my best bet is just heading back to Jazane. I mean, if I want to head somewhere else after that, maybe, but I think right now, like that's my quickest and best option, I think.
Okay, and I think I've confused myself. So Tizane is the big facility place that we saw, right?
Correct, yeah. Like the underground bunker.
Yeah.
Has all the clones in it and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was getting that confused with when we went under the bridge, and I couldn't remember if we gave that one a name or not. Because we did discuss, Marla and I did discuss her going there because there seemed to be quite a few of them there.
Yeah, that was just that was literally just known as under the bridge.
Under the bridge, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, and then while we're walking, we'll slow down a bit and I'll grab her arm and just say, look, I thought you were in danger. I thought more danger was coming your way. So he kind of shrugs and goes, me, try to solve the problem with as much noise and distraction as I could. But I was thinking of you, of what would happen because obviously that raid on the bar was kind of directed at you, and I'm assuming, that's what Smokey's assuming. He's just trying to say, look, I may not thought this all the way through, but I was trying to look out for your safety because Lord knows what would happen if they discovered who you are.
Listen, I know that that this is all kind of a rush and everything, but I honestly do appreciate everything that you're doing. It's your own way. It might not be the cleanest or the most well thought out, but it's effective, and I appreciate that.
When you were with Brock, is there anything that you noticed or that I don't know what any of this stuff is. I just I know a friend of mine's brother isn't doing very well, so I just don't know if there's any insight you could give to that.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that he's not in a great spot. He obviously spent a lot of time out there and it didn't really do him all that good, but he's still in there. And so that means there's hope.
Okay, and then Smokey kind of makes a mental note and kind of shakes off what the discussions they're having and say, okay, let's go and let's get you out of here, and we'll head over to see if she can if we can get out through the main thing.
Right on. Yeah, so you're kind of like having this conversation as you're walking to the relay to the offices.
Yeah.
And so like you get, about that time you get to the front door. And the usual, right? There's not everybody can go in there. You have to be a registered member of the organization. But luckily you have, your phone with your passcode on it. So all you have to do is just walk up to it and you swipe your phone and the door's open for you. So, and there's nobody because there's that level of security. There's no guards or anything like that. There was that precaution earlier when they were in an active search for all the people. But now that Marla's basically the only one left that they were looking for, security kind of dropped off. So,
and when we said the people looking for her, it wasn't the normal Ingram security, right? Or was it?
It was a combination. So the Ingram security was also looking for her.
Yeah, those are the guys outside the bar that that I was chatting to. Yeah,
exactly. Okay. Yeah. But then the organization also had security outside of the relay.
Okay,
so,
that's what I thought. Okay, cool.
But yeah, now that's not there. It's also late at night too. So you just boop your phone, doors open, door unlocks, and you can head right on in.
Okay, and I wouldn't know anything about Marla or Marla's or people like Marla's. So my first thought would be just to go find an extra suit lying around and get her suited up and grab some supplies. So that's what Smokey's going to be doing.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. So she had talked to you, but she had said that her, what she is does give her a certain resistance to the signal, right? But at the same time, being out in the ether, even it's not just about protecting yourself from the signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's wild animals out there. There's, the blues and the reds, and there's ravagers, and there's, a ton of dangerous things out there. So honestly, getting her a suit just for that kind of protection makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're gonna try to basically steal a suit for her.
That's the plan.
Nice. I like it. All right. So yeah, that all the suits are basically kept in one area. Right. There's a spot for, and it's where your suits are kept, honestly. So there's the place where they take them for repairs and for general upkeep, and also when a suit's too damaged, for disassembly and reassembly of various parts and upgrades and all that kind of stuff. Basically like a garage. Like it's a big open spot where they can house a bunch of suits and do work on them. So unless you want to actually hijack like a specific person's suit and go to a specific place, that would be kind of the best place to get a random suit.
Yeah, as long as it's not the one of our three. I think it would just be any.
Right, yeah.
It's appropriate.
You can take Zuchy's. It'll be fine. All right, sounds good. Yeah, so you'll basically, head up one floor, and start to make your way over to the garage. Huxley and Zuchy, you've been helping out for several minutes now. It's clear that there's nobody. The bar was empty. There was nobody in there. They don't deal with fires all the time, but it, stuff happens occasionally. This one doesn't seem to be going out easy, but at least it's contained. And so basically they've said that they're going to try to contain it for now. And they've even kind of put out a perimeter to make sure that, they're going to keep fire watch, make sure that it doesn't spread. They foam down the buildings around it just to make sure. They've said, the one thing that they're going to worry about is basically ventilation, because there's a lot of smoke in the air right now. What would the two of you like to do?
I'm assuming it's something where like Zuchy pulls me away, right? Like if they have it handled, I think Huxley's the nervous type, so he'd be, looking for ways to help until Zuchy was like, "Come on, like what are you doing?"
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because that's exactly what I was thinking. So he'd be like, okay, they got to handle Hux. I think we need to find Smokey.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he didn't come out.
I guess since he's trying to run away from something, if this is happening, so maybe we should look at his barracks, maybe see if he's there.
Okay, yeah. Let's go there. He wasn't with you, right?
No, he wasn't with me. I was Brock, remember?
Right. Okay. Right. Shh.
As everyone's trying to fight a smoking fire. Shh, everyone. Don't tell the secret that we're talking about barely over all this fire.
Right. Don't mention the one person that nobody knows about. And if you say the name, it won't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Smokey, what? Yeah, it's Smokey here. Yes, the fire is making lots of smoke.
I guess we head over towards the barracks.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, you guys, it's a few minute walk. Anything that you want to talk about on the way, you absolutely can. But the same thing. Like you get up to the front door, and all you have to do is go bloop, and doors will unlock for you.
Go in, Mr. Smokey. Yeah. Mr. Smokey. Hey, did you see Mr. Smokey?
And we'll say, I don't think we've ever quite gone over the layout. But let's just say like the first floor is all like operation stuff. Like that's where the offices are and everything like that. Second floor is going to be, and that's also where you have like the rec room and the cafeteria and all that kind of stuff. The places you've hung out mostly. Second floor is going to be where, the barracks, some private rooms for some of the higher ups in the organization, as well as some extra offices. And then the garage as well, where they do all the repair and the upgrading of the suits. And then third floor is just dedicated to the to payloads and the warehouse and disembarking and receiving of runners. So if you want to go up to the barracks, you'll just, head up the stairs or take the elevator to the second floor. And yeah. So we'll go bounce back to Smokey and Marla. You get up to the second floor, and basically barracks, once you get up to the top, barracks to the right, garage to the left. You start to go to the left towards the barracks. I mean, to the garage. And you hear your name called out. And from down the hall, Briston goes, "Smokey."
Uh-oh. Somebody's in trouble.
I will hang my head a little bit and shout, yeah.
And he kind of starts to walk towards you a little bit. And you can see that he has his phone like in his hand. Says, I honestly did not think that you'd be stupid enough to come here with her.
That's kind of why I came here, was because of her, and to get her out the other side.
You always got a soft heart, don't you, man?
And he'll look really quickly to Marla, just like eyes darting to her, and just say, it's more professional than personal this time around. I think Marla not being here is better for Marla and better for all of us. And he'll kind of just let that hang and see what Briston says.
Honestly, I can't disagree with you on that. She's not gonna say that she's a troublemaker, but I honestly don't know what's going on. I don't know why the organization is trying to look for her. All I know is that something bad is going on.
Okay, so for Kevin's standpoint, that clears up whether Briston knows anything else. So that's going to change how I go from here. There's lots of weird shit out there that even I wasn't expecting. And I think it's better if Marla goes and we don't ever talk about this again. No, if Marla goes, and he like Smokey will kind of shake his head and go, look, I'm just trying to help a friend, but also helping that friend, I'm hoping will also improve the situation and help all of us. There's nothing selfish in this other than, lighting the bar up was kind of fun. I did enjoy that. But other than that, it is, I'm looking out for all of us here.
I had a feeling that was you.
And Smokey will laugh.
Yeah.
I had to cause a distraction somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Your whole thing has been helping people. You did it. You did it in the mines. To the point where you threw your own career away. And you've done it a few different times, and you've done it here too. So I can't say that I'm surprised. I'm actually kind of proud.
But Smokey he'll kind of shrink back a little bit, and he'll take that as it was meant, and it does affect him. So,
but at the same time, I like I said, I don't know why they want her. I don't know if she's dangerous or not. And I don't know if I can take that risk.
Oh.
And at this point, he's gotten, like, you two have kind of been you and Marla have kind of stopped, and he's like been slowly walking up to the hallway, where now you're probably like a few meters away from each other, right? Why don't you go ahead and give me either brains or psyche?
Okay. Okay. 3.
All right. You can kind of, as he's kind of gotten closer now, and he's kind of like looking at you, and as he's talking, he's gesturing a little bit. you can't exactly see what's on his phone, but it looks like almost like a call screen, right? Where, you can see the name of a contact and you can see, the buttons on like whether or not to call. So he clearly has a call readied, and you don't know to who. But it's clear at least he hasn't called anybody yet.
So Smokey notices that. That's just not information for me, right? So Smokey does see that. Ooh, wait.
Yep.
Okay. Trust my instincts on this one, Briston, please. I'm trying to do what's right by all of us, but I also don't want us to do something wrong. And he'll kind of like, not gesture to Marla, but kind of his eyes kind of go to her. There's a lot more out there than just us. There's a lot of, I don't know, a lot more big bads out there. Maybe some good too. And I'm just trying to feel my way through this to see which one this is. And if I don't have that information now, I wouldn't want to make a hasty choice. I'm trying to rectify this situation now directly that's on the surface level. But underneath, kind of shake his head. Underneath, I don't know how big it gets or how deep it goes.
Why don't you give me a charm roll? So basically you're trying to talk him out. You're trying to talk him into going against his instincts and his training.
Yeah.
Right. And his own, not necessarily his own personal well-being, but he's part of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And right now you're trying to tell him everything that you have done and lived for the past how many decades, right? Just chill on that for now and trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and make me a roll. It's going to be hard. I'm going to make it, let's go with a 6. So it's not impossible. You also have, you're very talkative. You're very persuasive. But it's, like I said, it's because you're basically telling him, ignore your gut, ignore your training. Trust me.
You got a 5.
Nice. Did you include your bonuses?
Did I have a bonus on that one?
Don't you have talkative or something?
Yeah.
Talkative. Okay, so that was a +1, right?
Yep.
So 6.
Yeah, so there we go. So that's a 6. So that's a yes, but. So
he lets her go and shoots me.
Yeah. So you see, he's holding his phone, right? And you can see that he has like his finger ready to press call, right? And he lets the finger like off that, goes to the side. And the phone kind of like, he drops his head, he drops his arms to the side. And he takes a deep breath. And then he looks at you and he says, they're gonna know you're here. How do you think as soon as you came here, they know you're here? And he actually looks at his phone, like he like you hear like a bloop, 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 bloop. And he looks and he's like, And apparently your friends are here now too.
So
Mr. Smokey.
he's saying they know I'm here, not Marla's here.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, as in here, as in this location we're at right now, not
right. Yeah.
Bigger. Okay, I gotcha.
Well, but hold on.
So
wait a minute. Smokey stays in the barracks. There's him being in the building wouldn't be out of character.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm just throwing that out there. Like they
yeah.
come and go out of the building on a regular basis. It's not like,
absolutely.
Oh shit, he clocked in at such and such a time. He could be coming back from a bender. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
okay.
Smokey. This is actually what's abnormal about this is that Smokey's coming back early.
Well, there's no bar anymore, so
right. So I'll give you a head start. I can't. They're gonna see her leave. I'm not the only person here. They monitor the exits. They're gonna see her leave. But I'll do what I can to slow them down.
In Smokey will say, I know this doesn't feel right.
You're damn right.
But it's I'll spin the saying around. It's one step back for two steps forward. Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I think what Marla is involved in may not necessarily be a detriment. It may be a help to all of us. So that's why I'm doing this. I don't want to cause friction or something I don't completely understand, but I think it may be better in the long run if we do this. He's just the feeling he's trying to give is, look, I have no idea what's going on up there, but they may be some good guys, and I don't want to get the good guys pissed off at us.
Yeah. And so at that point, he'll turn to the side and kind of put his back against the wall. Said, I'm not going to stand in your way. I ain't going to help you either. But I'm not going to be the one to slow you down.
And Smokey will look a bit sad and say, I wouldn't ask any more of you. You know, it kind of Smokey understands what's going through Briston's mind, and it's how it's affecting him. So he'll just say, you know, you've done enough. I wouldn't dare ask for anything more.
All right, get the fuck out of here.
And
you're on borrowed time now, boy.
He'll give him like a formal nod and keep moving and head towards the yelling down the hallway.
Yeah.
Well, I would keep moving towards the suits, right? Like they're gonna catch you.
Okay, let's maybe do that then. So I'll head towards the suit and I will just, you know, I'll yell, Huxley over here, you know, just follow me to the suits.
Yeah, as soon as basically as Briston lets Smokey go, Smokey and Marla go, Huxley and Zuchy are coming out the door of the stairs. And so you can see them a quarter of the way down the hallway to the left, kind of standing there.
Yes, I think they come pounding up the steps, see them moving further down the hallway, see Briston standing there. He says, Mr. Briston, did you see there's a fire, the bar blew up. Where's Mr. Smokey going?
And he just looks at you and he's like dead-eyed right now. Like gritting his teeth, jaw clenched, and just looks right at you and just shakes his head.
Okay, well, I'll go ask him. Thanks, Mr. Briston. He just runs away.
The guy's mad. I'm not going to stay here any longer.
Right? We don't. Huxley has no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Zuchy wants to say stuff.
I think Zuchy would just be like, just pat him on the back and just kind of be like, just do like a come this way, we'll find out together kind of thing. And Zuchy will just look at Briston and like he wants to nod at him, but he's just like he doesn't even bother. He just kind of gives a look at him and then he doesn't even bother. He just takes Huxley and walks him with.
Yeah. I have a feeling too, like with Zuchy's upbringing, that's a look that you've probably seen from authority figures before.
Mm-hmm.
Of that, like, I don't have enough to actually do anything about it right now, but I really want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're lucky this time kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Zuchy's had a few of those in his life. Yep.
Right. All right. Hey, gang's back together now. Plus Marla.
Oh, hey, Miss Marla. Oh.
Bing.
Mr. Smokey,
I didn't
are you
really
in
want to
trouble?
run a bar anyways. I like being a customer at a bar. I don't like running a bar.
You did that?
And he'll smile and like hold a finger up to his mouth and like shh. Just like a little bit.
You're lucky nobody got hurt.
I made sure that you and Miss Joanna wouldn't be working tonight. You can trust me on that.
Oh, she's gonna be mad. You better not tell her it was you. She's gonna be real mad. She yelled at me earlier. She said you guys weren't my friends, and I got mad, and I guess it doesn't matter. What are we doing? What's going on?
I'm trying to get Marla out so she can head back to Tizane.
Okay. Should she wait for us outside? She doesn't have a suit. I mean, I guess she doesn't need a suit, but I mean, there's like monsters. They're not really monsters, like. But
I think
there's
Huxley
things out
would
there.
definitely say monsters.
So Smokey will kind of throw his hands up and go, look, I may have not thought this completely through. I was trying to just go in gut instinct. I wasn't planning on us heading out with Marla unless Marla thinks or you guys think we should head out. As I said, there's three of us. We get to vote. So, whatever you guys think is the best. I wasn't thinking we were going to head out, and he'll kind of stop. And, he said, I wanted Marla to get out first and be safe. And then he'll kind of like look to Zuchy and just say, and maybe work out some other stuff afterwards. So I don't know how Marla feels about heading out on her own. I guess that's going to decide the next steps, right? If she's like, yeah, I'll go, or no, I need you guys to come with me. That kind of in Smokey's mind, that's the fork in, the thoughts he had rambling around in his head when he was getting ready to light up the bar.
No, she'll say, I honestly I haven't been out there in a long time. I've never really been out there by myself, but I also didn't expect you to come with me. This is bed I've kind of made, and I've got to lay in it. So, I honestly appreciate everything that you've done. I don't expect you to go any further if you don't want to.
And Smokey will look down the hallway if Briston's still there, leaned against the wall, and he'll look to the guys and say, "Okay, we've got to make a quick decision on this. I don't think we'll be able to hang around standing here too much longer, and I wouldn't want to get Briston in any more trouble. So I'll look to Marla and just say, 1 minute, we'll be right back." And I'll walk, I'll huddle them down the hall a little bit and just say, "I was thinking that if we got Marla out safe and she got back to Dzane, she might be able to put in a good word for us, and maybe we could then head out and take Brock up to see if they could help him. But the decision we have to make now is, do we let her go by herself and then follow and try to get Brock out? Or do we go with her? And I guess that leaves Brock here by himself. And I don't know if anybody would be too happy with that or comfortable with that.
I don't know. Can we leave him, Mr. Zuchy? Don't you have to change fluid and everything? I mean, he's on IV and everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Smokey. I will not leave my brother again.
And Smokey will hold up his hand and say,
not unless I know he's in the proper hands.
And Smokey will look, he'll look very sincere and just say, I wouldn't expect you to, and I wouldn't want you to. That's why I'm saying we have to make a decision. Do we let Marla go by herself, or do we all try to go get Brock and all head out together now?
I don't know if we'd have enough time, Mr. Smokey.
Yeah, I think if we don't make a decision here real quick, we're going to get in trouble.
So me thinking personally is let Marla go and then follow. I just don't think the 5 of us tromping around would be the best. Let her go. It'd be quicker for her to get there. And then the 3 of us follow after and try to get out with Brock. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking personally. It's just, I don't know. I don't think I said the 5 of us tromping out now probably isn't the best option.
I mean, if we go, we might get in a lot of trouble. I don't. I mean, if she goes, then I guess we still might get in trouble. I don't know. Mr. Briston looked really mad.
Yeah, there's nothing that's gonna say we're not gonna get in trouble anyway. But I feel like if we go with Marla now, we might not be able to come back.
I think Huxley gets a real pained look then. Even though he's mad at Mr. Atlanta, to think that we might get kicked out and not be able to come back, I think hits him kind of hard.
So he'll turn around and walk back to Marla and just say, we can't come with you now. I will make every effort I can to come out and make sure you've got there safe. I just can't do it now. And he'll look like he's really because he's kind of forced the situation on her. And he, obviously he didn't think it through, and he wanted to make sure it, however unlikely it was that, yep, it's all done and dusted and he can, brush his hands off. It probably wasn't going to happen that way anyways, but he was thinking, I'll get this all sorted and it'll be done. But he'll just say, and he'll start walking with her and say, let's get you all geared up with everything you're going to need to get there.
Yeah. And she puts a hand on your shoulder and she'll just say, honestly, you've done more than you should have. I really do appreciate absolutely everything. And like I said, I don't expect you to come with me. You just going this far and getting me out of here is way more than enough. And then she'll actually, at that point, she said, and you know what? I forgot about this. And she'll take her phone and she kind of goes boop, 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 and you get a notification on your side.
I guess Smokey will look at it.
Yeah. And she has transferred all of her rep to you. So you get a notification that you have now received 12 rep.
Damn. And Smokey will shake
and
his
she just
head.
looks at you and she's like, I don't need it anymore.
He'll kind of be at a loss for words for a minute and just say, well, after this night, I'm not going to drink it away because there's nowhere to drink. And now I feel guilty. So I'll put this to good use.
Just, can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
Get out of this.
Look around.
I'm not saying get out of here, but you got a boot on your neck, and I do everything I can to get out from under that.
And he'll kind of smile and say, one thing at a time. I'm not good at multitasking. Let's get the first thing done, and then we'll see where we go from there.
And so, yeah, she walks over and you know, like I said, there's like an array of suits and various stages of repair and upgrade and all that kind of stuff. And she walks over to one and she's like, kind of like the color of this one. And it's like a gunmetal, but it has highlights of like pinks and greens, and it's got like this kind of mishmash of like hypertone camo going on, and she's like, yeah, this one looks cool.
Let's get you booted and suited and out the door. And then, he'll help her get the suit on, and he'll be mumbling to himself, I made sure I paid attention whenever Huxley was going through these suits, so I should be able to do a good job.
There you go. Hux and Zuchy, you see them like walk into a suit, and Smokey start getting her set up. What do you have any reaction to this, or?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess, coming to the realization that, they're looking for her, she's got to go, that they're putting her in a suit. I think Huxley's like, fuck, we're going to be in trouble because that's somebody's suit. Oh, Mr. Zuchy, if she takes somebody's suit, what that's somebody's suit. Oh boy. Like, I think he just starts walking in a circle.
Well, I don't even know. I don't even think Zuchy says anything either. He knows what's happening, and he's not going to stop it. So,
right on.
We're complicit.
All right.
We're complicit. We should leave. We should go somewhere. I don't know. I think we should go back to my house.
If Miss Joanna's not there, then we can go back to your house.
All right. Yeah. So you guys, Smokey helps Marla get suited up, and yeah, takes a couple of minutes. Not even a couple of minutes. It probably does take a little bit to go over quickly. Like, okay, yeah, this is what your readout means. This is, you don't necessarily need signal strength, but like this means that this you know, like, this is your battery level, this is your drain, like going over all the schematics and everything, and just like move normal. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, it's and just kind of going over everything real quick. And within a few minutes, she's like, for mobile at least.
If you say something, right? Because we have the coordinates for Tizane. I guess she has the coordinates too, right?
She does too. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Right, we don't. Yeah.
Is there any weapons on the suits that come with the suits, or are those separate?
Yeah, this one has just like a super basic loadout. Okay. You know, there's a field knife on there, and like a basic like a basic shocker pistol, almost like a, you know, so nothing super aggressive,
yeah,
but anything that they'd give you for basic training.
Okay. And then I'll just say, you know, if anything comes at you, point it that way and pull the trigger, but try to go as quietly and stealthily as you can.
I'll do my best.
All right. And if we get to the point where she's ready to go, I'll just say, I'm sorry you don't have an escort, but I'll see you again soon. And then he'll take out his lighter and put it in one of the compartments or whatever, the suit, and, you know, kind of tap it and say, I'll need to get that back in the future. And he'll kind of wink.
And yeah, at that point she puts her hand like on your arm, but it's, you know, it's a suit hand now. So and she just looks at you and says, "You'll get it back." She looks around, and at that point she now looks around. She's like, "All right, no, where the hell do I go?"
Make sure that I do. Yeah, let's just get her out and kick her out the door.
All right. Yeah, so you guys know, so from the garage there's basically like the runner elevator, right? It's like a service elevator basically that is just like a general lift that brings you up into the loading area. And then opposite side of that is where the like bay doors are, where you then have that elevator from the out. Once you get to the outside, that will take you back to ground level and get you going.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, as you get up to the warehouse, you know, again, automated machinery going over, preparing loads, all that kind of stuff. And then you can see from here that the lights to the receiving office are on. So most of the, just like, you know, because everything's kind of automated and they want to save as much energy as possible. If there's not people in the warehouse, right, there's not really a lot of workers in the warehouse. So if there's not a runner like actively being prepared to receive cargo or have cargo taken off of them, the lights are off. Right? Robots don't need lights. But so that it emphasizes the glow of the receiving office, where you know that you know, there's the one person that sits there and kind of monitors everything that's going on.
Blow up the receiving office.
And
he'll be fine.
Real quick. So Marla went up. Smokey's up there kind of showing her where to go. What are Huxley and Zuchy doing? Are you going up with them, or are you staying in the garage?
I don't know. I think Huxley probably stays in the garage.
Boy, if Huxley stays, then I don't think Zuchy would go. Zuchy was gonna go with, but then since Huxley's staying, it's like I'm not gonna leave Huxley by himself. That would be really dumb.
I guess at that point, I'll posit the question of, so Huxley wants to stay. Zuchy, Smokey has to go. Zuchy wants to go. So would you just go by Huxley's reaction and stay, or would you tell him to come with you?
I think I would stay just because I feel like let's say that somebody was coming here to whatever. As much as it would pain Zuchy, he would have to distract because he'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to let them go to the elevator to go back up to go capture them. So if somebody comes, like, we're going to get in trouble. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. So we have Hux and Zuchy back in the garage, Smokey and Marla up in the elevator. Then they get into the warehouse. You see the lights on. What do you do?
Run!
I guess, yeah. I just go. I have Marla behind me, and then just kind of walk up to the office and see who's in there.
All right.
Well, behind you is above you, right? Because the suit's like.
Well, yeah,
it's not. I mean, it's not huge, but yeah, Marla is now bigger than you are. Okay. I said the suit's probably when because it's not like it's was it like the exo loaders from Alien. Like, it's not like one of those where you're just this little person inside the suit. Like, they're, your hands are in the hands. Your feet aren't sometimes in the feet, depending on the suit. Some of them have, like, the spring-loaded feet. Some of them, you're just, like, right near the feet. But your head's in the head. So, like, think of it more like Master Chief armor. Right, where you're bigger, but you're not like
huge. It's not 10 feet,
massive.
Yeah. So I think Smokey would try to, walk up to see if he could see who's in there or what's in there.
Sounds good. Yeah. So there is a woman in there. It is what did we call her? I don't know if I wrote it down before. What did we say her name was? Not Joan. I can't remember. Let's call her Nancy. So she was the receiver when you did your first run.
Yeah.
She was the one that kind of, told you where to, go to loadout 3, all this kind of yada, yada, yada. So you have seen her before around. She's just kind of sitting there. She's got like her hollow visor on, and she's seeing things that you are not seeing, interacting with things all around her. And you're kind of off to her side. And she's not even looking at you, but kind of once you come up towards the window, she just says, I don't have any authorized debarkations at the moment. What are you doing here?
Special delivery.
Did it have to be a woman? Smokey's just gonna run in and tackle her and tell Marla to go. I don't know what else Smokey would do, right? That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna
love it.
Tackle her and tell Marla to run.
And she's not even. There's no roll necessary for it. Actually, you know what? We'll roll only to see kind of where you get, right? But I don't see this going bad for you. Beat a 2?
4.
There we go. Yes, and yeah. So you tackle her and
you don't hurt her.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Do I not hurt her, or do I just? She bumps her head and kind of goes out, but not I don't want to finesse it too much, but it's more because if it was a guy, I was just going to act all drunk and go up and slug him and try to knock him out. So I just need someone incapacitated for a minute. So I tackle her and she kind of bumps her head. The visor thingy bumps into her head and she kind of goes down like a sack of potatoes.
Nice. Yeah. So you knock her out, but there's no blood, nothing like that. It's not violent.
Her head
yeah, exactly. Yeah, sounds good. So you're and then Marla is like, what the fuck was that?
I was trying to distract her.
Oh, all right. It's all right. Yeah. All right. And she kind of, looks and there's like neon red light, over where the exit is, bleep, bleep, bleep lights kind of leading to and from. And she goes, all right. There, I guess.
Just I'll take her to where the opening is, or if there's a door or whatever, and just say, yep, head out through that way.
All right. And yeah, so she kind of, there's the double, obviously the double set of doors so that one can open, they go through. So there's you still want that extra security. So that, you're obviously not going to open doors and allow, a potential signal to get through. So there's, it's like airlock, basically. That's what I'm looking for. So there's an airlock situation going on still. So when the first doors open up, she turns around and you can't see her face because of the helmet and the visor and everything like that. But, she looks at you and at that, she says, if you're ever in the area of Tazane, feel free to stop by sometime. And she'll, at that point, she'll take 2 fingers and kind of touch them to her mask, to the helmet, and then bump them on your forehead.
I'll see you soon.
And she'll, at that point, turn around and walk through the doors and go, and they close behind her.
Okay, this is going to sound terrible, but then I'll smack her on the ass when she turns around.
Clunk.
Right. Ah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It hurts me. And then when she turns around, I'll be shaking my hand.
Right. Yep. And then, yeah, doors close and you hear the elevator starting to go down.
Smokey will take a deep breath and just say, shit, I got more stuff we got to sort out. And he'll turn around real quick, he'll whip around and then walk back to the office, look in, make sure that, that not anything. Yeah. It's not anything worse than what it was when he tackled her, and then head back towards.
Yeah. She does you look like she's laying on the ground. she's breathing. No, you see there's no blood, no bruise, like at least like there's no bruise right now. So you knocked her out as politely as you could.
That's what I was trying for. And then
there you go.
I'll head back to Zuchy and Huxley.
There you go. And yeah, as you guys as you're getting to the elevator, Huxley and Zuchy, because you have lights out up there, Smokey. Down below in the garage, you start to hear, and Smokey, you'll hear kind of the echo of this through the elevator shaft. You start to hear kind of a boop, boop, and you see kind of in the corner, there's boxes like pretty much in each room and down the hallways and everything. This. There's little boxes and there's a red light and it's blinking as this alarm sound goes off. And it's usually a sound because there's something going on in the relay.
Are we all back together now?
Smokey's, you're basically coming down the elevator, so it's going to be like 8 or 10 seconds.
Okay. I can't hurry. I'm in the elevator, but I'll be impatient for the elevator to get there and then head towards the guys.
I mean, do we know what that means specifically, or is it a general?
It's usually just a general alarm. But you can give me a brains check unless you just kind of, I can give you like an idea roll, right?
Yeah. Because I think Huxley would be in tune to that sort of stuff just because of the, mechanics and electronics and like having the suits and like what's the procedure. Like he's up on all those sorts of things.
Yep.
It's 2 6s.
Nice. Yeah. So that's, this alarm is basically like something's going on, it could be, and it's a relay. It's an organization specific thing, right? This is not an Ingram alert, right? This is an alert within the building. And it's basically a security alert. Either somebody here is here who shouldn't be, something's happened, there's a fight that broke out. Like it's everybody hunker down, let them take care of the situation kind of alert. I will say with that high roll, you can probably put 2 and 2 together. The fact that you did just see Briston like 5 or 8 minutes ago at this point. And, he did tell Smokey that he wouldn't stand in his way or he'd give him a head start. So.
I think Huxley's like, Mr. Zuchy, I think that's the security. I think they know that she's here or that she left or that the door's open when they shouldn't have, because nobody goes out at night. I mean, it's not that often anybody goes out at night. He just starts looking around.
Yeah, are there cameras around here?
No, they don't normally have kind of a reason to surveil inside, at least not in this area.
Yeah.
There are cameras down in the lower level where people might enter. So there's cameras like at the entrance and the exit, basically. But there's no reason for them to have cameras, like any surveillance around the area.
Yeah, I have a question then. If we don't have our suits on, then how did Briston know we were coming?
We badged in.
Oh, okay. So at this point, Zuchy's like, okay, Hux, we have a choice. We might have to get our stuff and get out of here, or we're gonna be in trouble.
But we can't leave Brock, right? I mean, that's what he said. I mean, we have to watch out for him, or we have to take him. But we can't go
That's
now.
That's not what I didn't mean. We'd have to get out right away, but I think we need to find a way to get him and get out of here.
And take him to Desane, right? And then we'll come back.
Well, I don't know about Tazane right now. All I know is we need to find a way to get out without getting caught, which is going to be tough because if this is the only way out, we might be in hot shit.
Oh, Miss Joanna's gonna be really mad when she finds out.
He puts a hand on Huxley and he says, "Hux, some things are a little bit bigger than what your mom thinks about what's going on. As much as that sounds terrible, that's the situation we're in right now, and I think you know that."
I know. I mean, she didn't do anything.
She didn't, but that doesn't mean that you can't do things for yourself. You're an adult.
No, I mean, Miss Marla, she didn't do anything. I don't know. What are they trying to get her in trouble for? I mean,
I think you know how the world works. You don't have to actually do anything to get in trouble with other people. It's just if the authorities think that you're a problem, doesn't matter what you've done, you're a problem.
Fucking ACAB, Mr. Zuchy.
Agreed.
Why'd you have to turn this into social commentary? No.
yes. Say, oh my god, this podcast is woke. We should shut this down.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he doesn't say that. Well,
no, but Smokey does when he comes out of the elevator.
Finger guns.
Yes. He's got the shirt. He did like, where'd you get that shirt? Oh.
I mean,
Smokey rolls up his sleeve and he's got 1312 tattooed on his arm. Well, yeah, see, we'll say at this point though, like Smokey does come out of like the elevator goes goosh and comes down and there's no doors or anything. So,
well, I mean, they know where we are. I mean, it's not like we can do anything, right? I mean,
is it? Can I ask a meta question?
Yeah, of course.
Is this literally the only way out of here that we know of?
What, out of Ingram?
Out of Ingram, yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead and give me a brains roll.
All right,
because we're in a dome, right?
We'll do a graduated.
Okay. Of course, I don't have my stats on me. Shit. I think I only have a brains of 2, I think. All right. That is a 5.
Nice. You know of, so like John said, right? It's not like a dome, but it's a secured, contained area. That being said, right? Like a house doesn't just have a front door. Like that would be stupid. If there was ever an emergency and they had to evacuate Ingram, it would be stupid. It would be foolish of them to only have this one point of egress. So I'll say with a 5, you know that there are emergency evacuation routes that can be taken. They are very secure because obviously they don't want these being ways that people go in and out on a regular basis. Additionally, there you have heard of ways that people in the past have been able to get in and out. And usually Ingram security is good about shutting down those paths. Because they're unsecure. That doesn't mean that some don't still exist, or that maybe they have been like, okay, yeah, we locked that one down, we're good. So you definitely know that there's, say, 3 emergency evacuation routes out of here. And then there are potentially some like quote unquote underground routes, like, smuggler route kind of things. But you don't know if they're still viable or where they are. Somebody else might, but.
So they have the big metal doors with like the fire alarm thing. So when you push it, like if you're trying to like go out the side door to
Exactly,
Walmart or something, the alarm goes off.
Yeah, these basically, the evacuation doors are basically like, there's no there's no airlock situation going, because if somebody goes through this, it's because like this knoll is compromised and we're just evacuating.
Yeah.
So I think Zuchy would be like, as soon as Smokey comes down, I think he'd be like, Smokey, we need to figure out a way to get Brock and get out of here. I know that there are some emergency exits out of here. I just don't know where they are.
And Smokey will shake his head, saying, I was hoping we would have more time to discuss and plan, because that was my thinking all along, that was going to be the next step. But looks like we're going to have to.
So you thought that breaking out a fugitive out of our secure little area would be easy to do, and we'd have a lot of planning afterwards.
Look, I may have made a rash decision. I wasn't really thinking it through. I was spur of the moment kind of thing.
I understand. We had to get her safe. We have, but now we need to save our own ass, or we're going to get in trouble. So we need to figure out, what are we going to do? Are we going to go hide out in the shed, hope that everything calms down, and then maybe late at night we can sneak out? I mean, what are we going to do here?
We've got to get Brock, and we've got to head out.
We'd have to come back here because we'd have to get our suits. We can't be outside without our suits on.
Can we get our suits on, head to get Brock, and then bolt from there?
We might not have much time. If we get our suits, we're going to have to use them.
Use them offensively, defensively? How do you mean?
Both. That's what I mean. I have a feeling we're running out of time.
So Smokey will look to Zuchy and say, that was what I was thinking we were going to do eventually anyways, from the minute that you got Brock. But
I'm going to check the elevator and see if that actually works.
What do you mean?
Like, or whatever he took to go to where the suits were?
Yep.
Is it still functional?
Oh, that he just came back down from that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
that's basically
that's
that's the lift that takes runners from the garage up into the warehouse.
okay. Yeah, boy, and you can see like the visible like frustration on Zuchy's face. He's like, he really wants to help his brother, but at the same time, he feels like if they don't just get the suits and go, then it's probably not gonna matter what happens. So like you can tell in his face, he's like almost, his brain is almost broken. He doesn't know what to do.
Smokey's whole plan this whole time was to get Brock and take him to Tzane. So I don't know if necessarily that Smokey would just leave that behind. He's got that, he's got that one track mind now. He's got Marla out, which was step one, and get her safe. And Marla was supposed to go, the castles that he was building in his mind was Marla would get to Tzane, put the word in, and then we would show up with Brock, and then they could try to help Brock. So I think Smokey would say, get our suits on as fast as we can, and let's head back to the shed and get Brock.
All right, let's go. Hux, you in?
I guess. How are we going to get out? We're just going to leave? Aren't they going to be more mad if we leave?
Well, I don't think it's going to matter at this point.
I guess so. Like he doesn't. He's frazzly and like no. Miss Joanna said you guys are a bad influence. Now, like we're in trouble, and like now you want to leave. Like he's very conflicted in the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just got to fight with her defending you guys.
Sorry, go ahead, Kurt.
I don't know what to do really, because now I feel bad. I think Zuchy actually feels bad for Huxley because he knows like he wouldn't want to leave his family, which he's not doing right now, and yet he's asking Huxley to do basically the same thing. So he says, Hux, I will give you this, and I know this is a hard decision, but if you don't want to go and you don't want to get in any more trouble, I will not force you.
I don't know, Mr. Zuchy. Like he's looking like back down the hall and like over towards the suits, and boy, I don't know.
Smokey will grab Huxley by the shoulders and just say, what we're trying to do is help Brock, to get him the help that he needs. If we get to Tzane and they'll help Brock, then you can find other ways to help people. Because my feeling is, like I said to Marla, as I said to Briston, I think Tzane is just the tip of the iceberg. So if we get to Tzane, maybe there's some things that they can help you with, or you can help them with. And then when we come back, I'll talk to Miss Joanna and I'll smooth it over. But this is a good opportunity to find out what's out in the world and what good you can do for the world.
Oh, you hit all those, pushed all those buttons. So I think he hangs his head and he looks like one last longing look towards the steps coming up from the entrance. So, okay. I guess we can figure it out. And
look, we all get grounded. We all get grounded every once in a while. So
I don't know. This might be more than getting grounded, Mr. Smokey.
I think Miss Joanna, once you apologize to Miss Joanna and tell her what you did and what you've accomplished, I think she won't be mad at you anymore. She'll be mad at me, and I'll take the heat on that one.
I think she's already mad at you guys. I just don't understand why.
Matter. As I said, it's a big wide world out there, and Miss Joanna is afraid of you being in that world. But sometimes you just got to jump in and see what the world has to offer.
Oh, all right. All right. I'm like,
All right.
go
So you're
get
going to suit up? All right. So yeah, you guys have like they designate each team to have their own little section of the garage. So you have your section. So you run over there, start throwing your suits on. And then, takes you, you guys are pros at this. So you can get suited up and booted in less than a minute. At that point you can go wherever you think you want to go.
I guess back to the shed first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there where the suits are? There's not any containers or anything, right? That would be in the warehouse.
There are additional parts here. And some of the, you see that there's an area for like cargo and storage and carrying capacity stuff. And so there's actually like some bin basically things that are
human
kind of like like the cargo box that you'd put on top of a car. It's kind of like that, but for your back.
Human sized?
Yeah, just about. Probably a little bit bigger than a human. So they're meant to carry smaller loads and kind of streamline you a little bit more. So it definitely will limit the amount that you can carry. But yeah, you can fit a person in it.
So like, Huxley checks all the seals and, pounds on your shoulder, check the back seal, pound your shoulder, and, looks around the room and he says, Mr. Zuchy, if you come over here, we can fit one of these carriers on you and we can put Brock in there. We'll have to take out the IVs and stuff, but, I'll take a medical kit and then, once we get to where Zane has stuff, but we can put him in here. That way nobody will see him.
Sounds like a perfect plan, Hux. Way to think.
Okay, great. Come here. And, he pulls the, tools and shit off his belt, cinches down, does whatever he needs to do to hook up the pod to visit you soon.
Give me just a real quick check. It's going to be low. It's just a 3 to see how. It's more so not to see if you can do it, but how quickly you can do
it. Oh no. Okay. Am I adding my mechanics?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a 5 then. I rolled 2 3s and a 2. I was like, oh shit.
Oh geez. Well, that's a yes and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do it and we'll just say you do it in no time. Right? Like it's almost like you pull out like your impact drill and you're just like and pull his off, put it on and it's like an F1 driver changing a tire.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like
nice.
All right. Yeah. And with that, meta wise, you've just installed a pack onto Smokey. You'll actually get a +1 to your speed, but it limits your cargo capacity to 2. So
that's we're not planning on taking anything else, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And so with that, at that point, you're, you exit the garage and, you have a couple of options. That, both in the middle of the hallway where you first came up, there's the stairwell and the elevator. And then on either side of the hall, at either end of the hallway, there's also stairwells.
Do we hear anybody coming from any particular direction? Because we go in the opposite direction.
Go ahead and give me a check.
All right. I'm going to add my scout since that's sort of the awareness thing.
There you go.
High's going to be a 7.
Yes, you actually hear the ding of the elevator as it hits the second floor.
Okay. Whatever's closest, we go down those steps then. Like,
all
come
right,
on, guys,
that's going to be, like probably 50 feet down, if less than that. There's going to be the end of the hallway, and you're going to have the staircase there.
Okay.
And so as you guys kind of make it to the end of the hallway, you see 3 security officers. They're not decked out or anything. So it's not like they're in their riot gear like they were when they busted down Marla's. But they've still got, their rifle and their, basic gear up, and they see you down at the end of the hallway. And they say, "Hey, stop."
No, we don't stop.
No.
Perfect. And you guys bust out into the hallway?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. So you get into the stairwell. You can get down the stairs however you want. Just one flight down. I almost imagine Huxley starts to like hand on the railing, starts to walk down the stairs, and Zuchy just hops over and drops down the middle of the stairwell.
Yeah, he does the superhero thing.
Right. And you guys make it there. You're down at the first floor, and it looks clear by the time you make it into the hallway.
Yeah, we would probably stop, peek. Doesn't look like anybody's around, and then run for the door to get out, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Sounds good. All right. Yeah. Busting through the door. And, by the time you make it outside, things have calmed down. You still see the smoke rising up from the bar, but it's been contained. There's no more glows. So it looks like they've gotten the fire under control, and that's kind of been suppressed enough. And the streets are quiet again.
Is there anyone around? Do we see anybody when we immediately come out?
No, it looks quiet. It's the Ingram it's nighttime. They have all of the lights and everything turned off, and the faux twinkle of stars up on the, they have, somebody long ago went up there and strung Christmas lights up basically to give the illumination of stars. And so you have that every once in a while, and you see some street lights dimmed and all that kind of stuff, but there's nobody else on the street at the moment.
Can I make another scout roll? We're not being slow stealthy. It's sort of like the movie stealthy, run to the corner, look, kind of half crouch. We want to try to bypass anybody that may be out while we're making our way as directly as feasible to the shed.
Sure, go ahead.
That is going to be 7 again.
Nice. Yeah, so you are able to and Ingram, right? You grew up here. You all did. Well, most of you. Zuchy kind of spent most of his life here. So you're able to kind of skirt around the main, you're gonna want to stay away from like I guess there's no bar, right? So but the areas that are gonna be a little bit busier this time of night. You want to make your way more towards into the residential area and skirt around the outside, so you're able to pick and choose where you go to make sure that you stay out of sight, and you can easily make it back to the shed without running into a single person.
Okay. And we have the fine manipulation with the suits on to like be able to use the keys to open the lock, to take the IV out, like all that kind of stuff.
Probably you'll probably be able to open the lock. But getting into the garage with a suit and being able to do that, maybe one of you.
I mean, it would be me if anybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, can I take just does it cuff at the hands? Right? Like is the hand removable like a glove? Because I would then pop those off.
It would take, honestly, in order to like take you would probably be better off jumping out of the suit and jumping back in. It's not like at least the way that I picture them, right? It's not like you have to it's not like knight's armor, right? Where you have to like put the torso on and then put the arms on and then put the helmet on and put like basically, depending on your suit, either the back opens up or like the front opens up and you step in and then it like seals behind
like an Iron Man suit kind of thing.
Yeah, more like that. Right. So you can, like I said before, like when you first got suited up, like you can jump in and boot up within like 30 seconds.
Okay.
So
like Zuchy opens up the door and then we both try to go in and like clunk. And then like he looks down at his hands and he says, I'm gonna have to get out of the suit because I don't want to hurt him to take out the IV and stuff. So get my seals.
Yeah, so Zuchy just, he doesn't argue, he just does it.
Yep. So I'd hop out of the suit, like quickly, check his eyes, trace all the lines. I'll get, rip some tape, get some gauze, pull out the IVs. If there's like a medical, like we have all the accoutrement that we need to help him. So he'll start packing everything up, grabbing extra fluid, extra nutrients, whatever, and getting all that together. And then I guess scoop him up along with so he's not knocking around in there. Say, I guess, Mr. Zuchy, would it be easier if you got down on all fours and then I can lay him in and then I'll put some blankets and a pillow to keep him, because we don't want him to hit his head or anything. We don't want him bouncing around.
Hux, it's fine. Just whatever you want, Hux. Just let me tell me what to do. So, all right, you got it.
And then he'll, put him in and, try to get him situated and get something around his head. And I guess is there air in there? Is that going to be an issue? He's also not in a suit.
He's not, but those are the pack, like any storage that you use. So the pack is hermetically sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll say honestly, it's not meant to carry living things. So while he will be protected from the outside, there's no life like there's no like air being pumped in or anything like that.
Yeah.
If that's something you want to try to rig up, you can. Potentially tie it into Zuchy's suit.
Yes.
It all depends on how much time you want to take right now.
Well, it's either that or I punch a bunch of holes in it.
Right.
Which is going to limit the protection that he's going to
Yep.
have, right? Like that's the he's like go ahead.
Well, why don't you go ahead and give me a brains roll?
All right. Let me check. I'm pretty sure that's 3 for him. Ooh, that's really bad. 2-2-1.
Ooh, okay.
Unless I'm adding like med tech or mechanic or biology.
Yeah, add your med tech.
Okay, it makes it a 4.
Oh, 4. All right. Well, we'll say you're there is a way that you could easily have this, so there's portable oxygen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've used it in the hospital and stuff like that, whenever there's somebody that they bring in from the outside, right? It's basically like a little oxygen bottle with the mask. So that's an option. But the closest one of that you could get a hold of would be at the hospital.
Shit.
Steal from the hospital. Make your mom more mad.
I think he just says, he's not gonna be able to breathe in here. I could punch some holes in the thing, but or we can I can get to the hospital and maybe try to steal some oxygen, the little portable ones, because we could hook that up to him, but we'll have to stop and change it. I don't know how much time we have.
But sorry. If
you shouldn't smoke, Mr. Smokey.
Yes. I don't think Brock's not going to be affected if we punch holes into it, right? So the fact that he's not sealed up isn't an issue, right? Because he was out already.
Well, but it's going to make him worse, right? Because like now he's protected, and if we take him back out and he gets exposed, like he just kind of throws his hands up.
I would say just punch some holes in, and then we get to Zane as fast as we can.
I think it was like a 16-hour run, Mr. Smokey.
Yeah, but I mean, that's better than us trying to get to the hospital and getting caught or getting hung up. So, us tromping around in our all suited up to the hospital, it's not like we're not going to draw attention to ourselves. So,
well, I mean, I can go. I might be able to sneak in through the back door. I mean, I wouldn't go in the front. Miss Joanna probably went home by now, and if nothing's going on, it shouldn't be super busy.
All right. Are you going to go in your suit, or are you going to take your suit off? I'm assuming you're going to take your suit off.
I'm already out of my suit because I'm helping Brock.
Okay, so you go do that. Let's set a time for 15 minutes or whatever from now to meet up. If you're not back here in 15 minutes, we'll take your suit and we'll meet you near one of the exits, that we said we were going to do. I'm just trying to think if and then Smokey just shakes his head. Yep, go get the oxygen, get back as soon as you can, but be careful, don't get caught.
He looks kind of sheepishly. He's like, oh, okay. Just runs.
All right. So we'll the camera will follow Huxley. Go ahead and let's see.
Scout.
How do you want to handle it?
So he works at the hospital. So he
Exactly.
is very familiar with entrances, exits, where stuff is kept. You know, what room might be closest. I think he would just try to sneak in like a side door.
Yeah.
And into a room real quick, grab like 2 or 3 bottles of oxygen, and then just yeet right back out the door.
Yeah. All right. In that case, let's make this grace.
Okay.
Because it's more about your physical ability to be quiet and careful.
Okay. Dig that.
I also will give you a +1 because of your knowledge of the hospital and all that kind of stuff. You're going in, basically think about it as if you're going in with intel, right?
Right.
So, yep.
And am I still can I still use scout as well?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
All right, here we go. What is that? Oh, I thought it was a 1. So the side on this one is the 6, and some of the other ones.
Oh,
It's a
there
1.
you go.
So that's going to be an 8. So I got +1 for scout and +1
Oh.
for my intel.
Oh my god. Yeah, so just tell me what happens at this point.
So
you tell me what happens at this point. That's
so he, you know, just like getting to the shed, you know, he's low crouch running, he's watching the streets or whatever. He knows that there's an area where a couple of the nurses like to smoke. So he runs kind of like around the corner and like into the bushes, and you know, someone happens to come walking out just at that moment, or maybe they keep that door unlocked because they keep coming and going. It's a pain in the ass to unlock, and everybody's kind of lazy.
You know that door that they always leave propped open.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
So he comes running through, sees that they have the little piece of wood in the door, kind of like peeks in to see if anybody's around, slowly opens up the door, puts his head in. Nobody's in the hallway. And, you know, he runs in, plastered against the wall, like full on, like it's comical, but like he's trying to be as stealthy as possible.
Yeah.
And like, you know, slides down the hallway. It's like counting rooms. He's like, oh, this one over here. Great. Like he waits. Somebody walks by with a cup of coffee. Then he runs through to the other door, you know, silently opens up the door and like grabs a towel or a blanket and like puts one in and then gives it a half roll, puts another one in, gives it a half roll. So they're not like knocking around. He, you know, does a quick calculation to see like, okay, well, this will get us this far, this will get us this far, and he'll grab, you know, however many bottles that is going to get us there.
Yeah.
Grabs like an extra, you know, extra gauze, you know, whatever is like right in the room, like even if it's just like a kit. Well, no, because they probably have everything in drawers.
Yeah.
Anything he thinks he might need that we don't have to like get from here to there. Mostly it's going to be the oxygen. And he sneaks back out again.
There you go.
He sees him.
Nice.
Like the camera,
yeah.
Like he goes out and the door closes, and then someone, like you see someone look like, what was that? They're like, they're looking around for the noise.
Awesome. So in the handful of minutes that Hux is going to be gone, what are Smokey and Zuchy doing?
Just keeping an eye out, you know, staring out the door of the shed to make sure no one's around. I mean, I think that's the only thing that that Smokey's thinking about is to him to hurry up and get back, and then we can take off.
All right. So
yeah, there's not much you can do when you're in a big old suit and that kind of thing.
Yep. So yeah, you basically you're in the backyard. The two of you in your suits. You have Huxley's suit, there decommissioned at the moment. You have Brock in the back. So Huxley has kind of made him comfortable. You're just basically waiting for him to come back so that he can set him up with the oxygen and you guys can get going. So you're kind of playing the waiting game right now. It's like, it's quiet, it's tense. Nobody really wants to talk. You're just kind of hoping Huxley's going to be back soon. And then a light turns on. And a flashlight kind of shoots right at you. And you hear Miss Joanna from the back door. What the fuck are you doing?
Is that where we want to end?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that sounds good. We're gonna have to think about this one because this.
I was
this
gonna
could
say
go-
that's
this could
gonna
go all
take a
kinds of
bit.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Smokey, you got some explaining to do.
Oh,
'Cause I'm not doing it.
Oh, shit.
very good.
All right, cool. I like it. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for checking it out. We have our Patreon up if you want to throw a couple of credits our way. Check out the MFG cast. Kurt, what do you got going on over there these days?
Oh, we got a couple of things going on through the actual podcast. We've got our board game discussions. We also have a fantasy role playing live or what do you call it? Actual play going on right now. We've got the Core Noir going strong, working on our last season of that. Also, if you go to our YouTube channel, we're actually starting a new fantasy D&D campaign. That's got Jesse is on, John is on, also friend of the show, John Neary from Legends, and Leslie. That we're all playing a new campaign. Basically, they're time travelers that are trying to figure out why the hell they're time traveling because they have a little bit of amnesia. So if you want to know what that's all about, we try to play every other Tuesday. So starting this next Tuesday, not this Tuesday coming up, but the next Tuesday, and then every other Tuesday after that.
That will only matter for people who watch us in the next couple of days, because when this comes out in a year,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We'll
Well,
be
they
on
can
to
go
like a whole other campaign by then.
Yeah. Well, then you can go back and you can watch all of them. You can do it all in one day if you want.
Yep. There you go. There you go. All right, we're on all of the things. We're still on Twitter. We're on Blue Sky, Instagram, the YouTube. If you're watching this, you know, you can reach out to us at all those places. Ratings, reviews on iTunes or whatever your podcatcher of choice is probably helpful. I don't know. We're going to continue to record, even if it's just for spite. Yeah, it's fun. We get to hang out and dick around and make silly voices. So we are appreciative if you enjoy that as well. And thanks for checking it out. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Bye-bye.